that so satisfying, like looking at all that? Hello everyone, my name is Audrey. Welcome to my channel. I am an actor and also a creative. If you don't know me, if you're new here, welcome if you are. I thought I'd film this video outside. It's too hot to be in the sun, so I am in the shade here talking to you. Also, if there's like fluctuations in the light, I'm sorry. It's cloudless, so I don't think there should be, but we'll see. I hope you can hear the birds. They're really pretty. Or my air conditioning unit. Either one works. Anyway, I've been wanting to film this video for a really long time just because I found so much value in journaling throughout my life, and I figured that perhaps the things that I've learned could help people who either are trying to start a journaling practice or already have one, who just kind of like watching videos like these to get different tips from different people or to see how other people journal. I mean, I know that I like to watch those videos. I started journaling around 2015, and when I say started, I kind of mean that a little bit loosely because I didn't actually start journaling in 2015. I tried many times to start a consistent journal practice before then. 2015 is just when it became really consistent and intentional. And I filled up all of these journals in that time, and my methods that I've used have changed over the years, and I found different styles of journaling that have worked for me for different reasons, and there are some that I've like done away with and some that I've kept ongoing with until now. The reason why I started journaling is because I wanted a way to keep my memories like close to my heart, if that makes sense. I have this really weird, I'm kind of a memory hoarder. I have this really weird fear that, I don't know, someday like I'm not gonna be able to remember my memories, and it's gonna be like kind of a notebook situation where somebody's gonna like need to read back to me like the awesome things that have happened throughout my life. And I also just kind of think it would be cool if at some point in my life somebody was able to find these and read about my life, kind of like a time capsule type thing. But also, it's kind of a way for me to process things and know myself better. That portion I feel like has started more recently than it has in the past. In the past Audrey was more just, that was a bug, more just wanting to document what was happening like throughout her life. And then since then, in that 5-year period of time, it's kind of grown from being just a personal way of capturing memories to also being a way of like personal development and personal growth. I wanted a way, in addition to photos and videos, to have all of my memories and to be able to look back on them, and it's worked really well, I feel like. And I feel like also journaling has really helped me, kind of in that similar vein, figure out more about like what my creativity looks like. I'm very interested in a lot of different things, and sometimes that can get very like overwhelming because there's so many things that I want to pursue at one time. So I feel like it's really helped me just find my own creative self. I'm still definitely on that journey. It's an ongoing thing. I don't think it's ever finished, but I think it's definitely single-handedly been one of the most like influential things that I've been able to, that's a good word, tools that I've been able to use to learn about myself and figure out what I want my life to look like. Genuinely, I thought journaling was something that I had only been doing for the past year, but then I came home and I found all of these ones that I had like filled up from a while ago, and I was really shocked. And it's really cool to see my progress and just my growth. I think it's really cool to look back at my past self and see how far I've come in the past just 5 years. I think that's incredible. The very first journal that I have with me is from 2015, and it is simply just like my daily happenings of my high school self. It's just like 2 to 3 little bullets of like what happened in my day. Like I said, it was purely for like keeping memories, so that's what that one is. And then it kind of evolved from there because I started seeing YouTube videos of how people would like make these really elaborate journals or like doing these practices for journaling, and it kind of became me trying to, for this one, this is the next one that I have, and the pages are gold. It's so cute. I'm actually allergic to gold, so I guess that's not good. But it started evolving into me trying to do like long form handwriting, because that had always been kind of like a goal for me. And then I would just do like little drawings and doodles and like the little hand lettering things. That's been really cool to see my progress in, because these are like, they're good, but like the ones that I have now are better. And then the next ones I have aren't exactly journals, but I kind of look at them as journals. These two, I have so many black journals, what's going on? These two are simply just like little planners, pre-made planners that I had written out, but they kind of served like the bullet journal purpose, I guess, because I made them my own and I did little drawings in them and stuff. This is 2016, 2017, and this is my freshman year of college. There was just a lot going on in my life during these 2 points. So it was kind of just a way for me to look back on like what was happening in my life, like the daily events. Like there's obviously like all my homework and stuff in there, but it's more than just that. Things that I'm very proud of have like happened in these journals. This is where it became kind of more bullet journaling in a sense. If you know what bullet journaling is, it's kind of just like having a little empty dotted instead of ruled notebook, and basically putting anything that you need in it. And as you can probably tell, maybe I'll like show it up here, it's just pretty simple, honestly. I like tried to do the little calendar things. I would do little like quotes and things, and then it has evolved into these 3 guys that I have here. These are like my favorite journals that I've found so far, like the actual physical books. This one in particular I am like super duper proud of, because it has all of the memories while I lived in Los Angeles during the fall of 2019, and that was a very like transformational period of time for me, because I spent a lot of time like exploring my interests and like getting to know myself, just doing things on my own, and it was like the best like experience ever for me personally. That's all documented in here, and I became like really detailed about it. So like the lists that I was talking about earlier in my very first journal, I continued that habit, I guess, or that like idea of journaling into this one, because I was doing a lot of things on the daily that were just very important to me, but I knew that in the long run I wanted to remember them, but they were like, there were so many things happening that I wanted to write down each of them in here so that I could look back and be like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. And the little moments that I'll probably like forget, but I can't necessarily like capture them with a camera. They'll always be in here. I can look them up and remember, you know? And then I would have little quotes in here that kind of inspired me, and it was just kind of whatever happened on the daily. Yeah, so that's what this one is. And then that habit or way of journaling has continued into this one, which I am currently working on. Similar to this one, this journal that I also have, this one's finished, but this one is the more recent one that I'm working on in that similar style. It's just another bullet journal that I have, and it's so cute. I'll have to do like aerial shots of these, because they're just beautiful. And I think also why I'm so proud of them is because I like seeing my artistic progress in them. Like I said at the beginning, I started out thinking that it needed to be like perfect in order to be good, but that's totally not true. Perfection's unattainable. No. But as I've been progressing, like hand lettering and stuff, and just like the way that this journal works for me and how it best serves me, I've created like little hand lettering styles, and I used like metallic Sharpies. Those are really fun to use, metallic Sharpies, to like decorate it and stuff. And this is the one where it's more just like, it's like a planner, but I like it because it's just whatever's happening during my day. The next page is like blank. I can write whatever I want on it. It's not like pre-planned out, even though I did used to use those planners and they still work really well. But this right now is working well for me and my lifestyle, just because I always have so many things that I'm working on at once, and it's just really helpful to have something that every day it's not structured. I can structure it myself. So right now, at the moment, I actually have 2 journals going. This is a new addition. I figured out that I don't like having my long form writing and my bullet journaling in the same journal, so I have since separated my like planner / like daily memories thing from my actual notebook for long form writing in there. So this one is literally just all of my thoughts on paper. I have always wanted, this has been like my goal since I was a little kid, is just to have like a journal where it's just all of my thoughts printed on paper, like in physical form. It's kind of like a weird like little trophy that I love and cherish. I started this one last January, February, March, April of 2019, and now I am just finishing it. Side tangent. I don't know, I just think it's like a really valuable time that we've all had during quarantine, even though this is like still continuing on. I think it's just a really powerful time for reflection and just like learning about yourself, and that's why I think journaling can be a really helpful tool during this time. And I love looking back at all of the memories that I have specifically in this one, because I think it's really cool to see how my writing changes over time and how like I change over time as a person, and just like what my actual like written thoughts were. Since I've started that one, I've tried to make just writing long form a more consistent practice. It's definitely not something that I would say that I do every single day and I'm like really like this has to happen. I definitely do it more days than I don't, but I try to make time for it just because I know that afterwards I feel so much more light and like clear-headed, clear-minded, if that makes sense. Kind of going along with what I just said about like this making me feel really clear-minded after I do it, is because I feel like there's always so much going on in the world. There's always so much going on in all of our minds, and it's just really hard to compartmentalize everything. As hard as you like try not writing everything down, it's really hard to compartmentalize. So by doing this, what I've found is that I'm able to write about whatever's happening in my mind, put it aside in a notebook, and it's there in the notebook. I don't need to think about it anymore, and I can move on and do what I want to do. And then if I need to return to it, write about it some more, I can do it later. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I mean by clear-minded, is it just gets everything that I'm thinking about, I can process it on paper, and then it's done. Another thing that I really enjoy about handwritten journaling, just the long form, plain old writing, is that I think there's something really unique about connecting a pen to paper. I just feel like it's not something that we do as often today. We have so much quick access to just typing out, but I think taking the time to solely focus on writing your thoughts, whatever is at mind for you, whatever you want to write about, it's just such a cathartic like emotional experience and gets everything that you're thinking about out of your brain. Whereas if you were to type that, I don't think that you would have the same experience. But I think that there's something to be said about putting a pen to paper, you know? It's just not a lost art form, but I just feel like we don't do it enough anymore. I would say if you're trying to start a journaling practice like this one, the long form writing, there's always something to write about. I really enjoy putting a lot of detail in them if I can. If I'm like describing a moment, I like to use a lot of like sensory detail just because I feel like it brings me back to that moment more vividly and more clearly. But there's nothing wrong with just like writing, being like, I don't know what to write, like this happened, and just like kind of having like a word rant, I guess. It serves both purposes. It's awesome. So the two people that I think you should check out if you're really into journaling, these two people have single-handedly influenced my opinions on journaling and my journey with journaling. It's at Joe Franco, I'll put it up on the screen, and then at Anne Marie Chase. I've been watching both of them for such a long time, and it's so funny to me how like people that I like see through the internet can influence my mind so much and just influence the way that I think and the way that I like go about my life. But yes, please go check them out. They are amazing. I love that I love all their content, but the journaling one especially have been really influential towards me. I think journaling in whatever way you want to, whether that be like scrapbooking, the free handwriting, everything is just handwriting, bullet journaling, writing, starting out with just doing little lists of things that are happening in your days. Any way you want to start journaling, I think is a great step. I don't feel like you have to be a master at it to start, because I feel like that's kind of like you're already setting yourself up for failure if you're aiming for perfection, you know? You just gotta start somewhere and then build from there. Another thing that's really helpful if you want to get more into journaling is this idea that I got from The Artist's Way, one of the things that she tells you to do at the very beginning of the book is to, every morning when you get up, is to write 3 pages of just stream of consciousness thoughts. So even if that's just like, I don't know what to write this morning, I don't know what to write this morning, it can be as simple as that. But basically the idea behind it is to get everything that you're thinking of in your brain that's just like taking up space out onto paper, so that it isn't taking up any more space in your mind, and you have more freedom to be able to be creative and think not about those things that are like taking up space in your mind, if that makes sense, and you just have more time to devote to other things. And just a note about like journaling in general, I think more recently I've kind of made it like a little practice that I've had. I've really liked just taking like maybe an hour or so and just writing out what I'm feeling in my little red journal right here, and then this one's just more for the daily happenings of life. And what I'll do is I just kind of like making like a tea or something, and I like taking it outside or maybe like keeping it in my room, putting on like a little bit of like ambient music or something, setting the scene and making it kind of an event, so that way it's really enjoyable. And I feel like if you're looking to make it more of a consistent habit, making it more enjoyable like that really helps. Another thing that I found too is like finding journals and pens that you really like, so that you're more inclined to write in them and like want to write in them, if that makes sense. So the one that I've really found useful recently is I don't know if I can pronounce this, it's in German, I don't speak German. The Lecturum, maybe I'll put it up on the screen so you will know. Lecturum 1917 journals. For this one that I have, it's just the plain ruled journal. And then for all of the bullet journaling that I do, it's the dotted one. And then just finding a pen that you like, it's that like sits comfortably in your hand. And I would just say also, if you are kind of beginning a journaling practice, don't be hard on yourself if you don't do it every single day. That was something that I still even struggle with like today. It takes time, and if you're at least just like trying to be consistent about it, don't like start out wanting to do like 45 minutes to an hour a day. I don't like something like that. Just start out start something simple, just bullet notes or something. Just keep it really simple and then work your way up. Don't be hard on yourself about it. You'll get there. It'll be fine. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it. I mean, there's a lot more that I really could get into, but for this video's purpose, just kind of like a general overview, I think that's all I have to say. If you have any more questions about like my journaling journey or just anything journal related, feel free to ask me, comment down below, I will respond to them. Yeah, and then don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel down below. And if you want to follow me over on Instagram, that would be awesome. You can totally do that. It's at Audrey Fallon, AUDREY_Fallon, FALLON. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I feel like that's most of what I want to say. Really, like, I'm having a good hair day today. It's a good hair day.